All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. So now we got our sketch done. The next thing I want to do with this piece is make an underpainting, and we're going to do that with acrylic paints. We're not trying to get detailed. Just think of it as you're just kind of blocking stuff in and getting an idea of what the final piece is going to look like, kind of where you want things to go. So we're not putting on layers and layers of acrylic paint. We're not putting in details. We're just getting everything covered, getting the canvas covered, so to speak. So before I do that, whenever I use a pencil sketch, before I start to put down any type of paint, I always grab my eraser, and I think I put it up over there. Yeah, I always grab my eraser and go over the canvas one more time, try and clean out as many pencil marks or whatnot as I can. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes to do that now. You guys go ahead and do the same thing, and then we're going to get started with this underpainting. Grab my eraser, and it's a good idea. You probably seen me do it in the last video or previous videos where I sketch. Whenever you're erasing on canvas, don't use your hand to get rid of the shavings, erase the shavings. Use a dry, light paintbrush. All right, so I'm going to start on the outside of the painting, and I'm being very careful to go around him right now, his tail. And I want to get, even though we're going to paint over it, and the paint would definitely cover up the pencil marks. Me personally, I just like to have my canvas as clean as possible. I'm just going to start on one side, start on the outside on one side, and work my way over. Being very careful not to erase the pencil that I want to keep, like this perfectly round pizza pan moon. And try to follow like the direction where everything's going. As you can see, the moon is obviously circular, and I'm going in like arching motions. And I don't know, you might be able to tell how this is making a difference already on the sketch. And another thing, if you notice, I haven't brushed off any shavings yet. That's another thing I try to do. I try to wait until I have all my erasing done. So when I do brush it off, it's just one time. I'm not continuously coming back and brushing and brushing. left arm got a lot of shavings. Don't know if you guys can see that now. And again, remember to go in the direction of the work. Okay, just about down there. Okay, I think that's good. Let me get this off my arm. Okay, now just gonna take my dry brush and just lightly go over it. Go over it a couple of times and a couple of different directions to make sure you got everything. Okay, it's not going to be perfect. I don't know if you guys can tell, but you can still kind of see some of the marks. Now, something else I usually do, and let me get it and show you. I use this fixative. You spray that over your sketch and you can paint over it, and you won't have to worry about the pencil disappearing or anything. It'll basically protect the sketch from paint. Depending on where you go, this could be anywhere from $5 to $10. Yeah, see, this one was $9.99. This is at Hobby Lobby, but it's well worth it. And again, as with any spray, always make sure you have ventilation. Okay, so I think I kind of want to start with this moon. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my brush wet. Get my brush wet with a little bit of water. And again, as if you don't know, I've been trying to use natural light when I'm recording. So if it seems just a little dim, it is in the evening, and I'm trying to do this rather quick. So I'm gonna go try and get these edges down first. Get all the kind of tight spots out the way. And if you notice, I'm not putting a lot of water on my brush, just enough to kind of make the paint flow. Might have to get a smaller brush to get inside there a little bit better. Now in this tight spaces, I'm just kind of using the corner of the brush because this brush is really too big for that space. And again, follow the curves in the direction of your work. I'm not worried about these little grass shards, get them covered up. I could easily go back after everything done and just put that back in there. Like I'm saying, we're not trying to get detailed or real layered. You just want enough on here to kind of see where to see where everything's going to be at. And you only want enough water on your brush, just enough water to make the paint flow. You see that? Take your time going around the edges. Again, if you come to a tight space that the brush is too big for, just switch to a smaller brush or just use the corner tip of the brush that you're using. And remember, because I kind of had to remind myself of this because it's been so long since I've worked with acrylics. Probably been a few years ever since I started working with oil. You don't have all day with acrylic paints. They dry really fast. So get in here, get to work, and let's get this underpainting done. I'm being very careful. I'm trying to be very careful not to mess up. Remove any of my sketch because I did not spray this. So if I paint over something on the sketch, it's gone. You guys see, I'm not rushing this at all. Especially in the tight areas, which I'm kind of moving out of now. Okay. I'm not sure what size brush this is. I don't see it. on here. But I'm just using a bright. You can use a flat also. Oh no, this is a flat, I'm tripping. And it's pretty wide, that's so I can cover a lot of ground. Now, I've decided that in the final piece, my moon is not going to be white. But I don't have all the colors in acrylic that I need to do this underpainting. So I'm just kind of improvising with a few things. Okay, let's get ready to take a step back. See how that looks. Yeah. I'm gonna come right over here. And don't forget another thing about acrylics, when they dry dull. So it's not like oil paints, or it's going to be as vibrant, pretty much as vibrant, wet or dry as it is when it's wet. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean this brush, and you shouldn't need, should be able to use the same brush for this, for what we're doing today. Okay, so I'm gonna come in with the black. This is where we have to be extra careful again with the edges. Yeah, and it's getting pretty dark in here. So I'm trying to speed things up a little bit, but now I'm gonna go around the outside of the moon. I'm gonna come back this way. And I didn't go all the way down, and there's some little small gaps in here that I didn't get. That's because this is going to fade out. It's not going to be all the way black. There's going to be some blue in there, whatnot. We're going to have a gradient, so. Start with black. Now, okay, what paint you're using, black is pretty much going to be heavy. It's going to come out thick. That's okay, because we're just going to go over this with more black. Take your time at the top, around that edge. Get just a little bit more water on there so I can get this to flow. Step back, look like that. About there. That's good enough. Get that flop in. And remember, again, I know I've said it a couple of times already, we're not going for perfection right now. We're just covering the canvas, creating a roadmap for the actual thing. Okay, step back. Yeah, I like the way that's looking. Now, I don't think I'm going to clean my brush because I want this first blue to be a little dark. So I will dip my brush just a little bit in the water, and I'm going to the little blue. Again, very careful around the edge. And it looks like it might be about there. Another thing to remember when you're doing them edges, and you're trying to get that fine line, remember, the more pressure you put on the brush, the wider your stroke or your line is going to be. Put less pressure and you get a thinner line closer to that. guys do portraits, another way to think of this is think of this as the blocking in stage in a portrait. When the portrait just looks horrible. Before it becomes a masterpiece. Oh, I hit that just a little bit, but it ain't gonna mess up too much. Okay, and remember, I did not clean my brush when I went from black to blue, because I want this to be a darker blue. But on the actual piece, this darker blue is really gonna be purple, and then purple is gonna fade to blue. See how we doing on time? Where are you? Where's? Oh, okay. Okay. Now I am gonna clean it. Take an old dirty rag and run that brush across that rag first. Now, go ahead and rinse it. Put it in some water. Because now, I want this blue to be just a tad bit brighter. We don't want it real bright because remember, this is still night. We just want it brighter than a dark blue. Take your time. Now another way you can go around that edge, it's just like I'm doing. So yeah, especially if you're using a flat or a bright. Do that again for you. Just kind of line up right at the edge of the sketch. Follow it. I'll take my pencil edge. Saw how thin that line was? That's because I barely put any type of pressure on there. See that? I'm basically like almost holding the brush like a feather. Side. cover it up. Because I'm running out of daylight here. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse that brush just a little bit. Rinse that, drain it off a little bit, go back into the black. And we can put highlights, subtle highlights in the cliff later when we're working on a final, the final piece. But one thing you might want to do is kind of map out where your highlights might be and make those spots a little bit thinner, or just take some white, make it put like a gray tone in there. So then when you come in with your oil paint, you know where your highlights and your shadows are going to be at. Okay, now it's time for the main attraction. Let's go ahead and get our boy Wolf. Now, if you're not comfortable, switch to a smaller brush. This is where you really want that at. I may end up switching to one myself. Yeah, I gotta look quiet so I can concentrate. Kind of like when you parallel parking, you got that music up, but when you get ready to start parking, you turn it down. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Oh, see, that's gonna come back to bite me. That's a small fix. Could fix that. remember, we're not going for perfection right now. Okay, now let's shade some more of them in. And as I'm doing this, I'm also thinking about my highlights, my shadows. So I may not fully shade him all the way black, because there's certain things I want to be visible. Okay, step back. Yeah. Maybe that's gonna be highlighted. Maybe part of that. Then down here, maybe it gets a little darker. Back here. Maybe right here is kind of dark. Maybe we got some light hitting just a leg. I'm trying to put my highlights around his joints, and also where I think the light will actually hit too. And I think that's pretty good. And where are we at? We're at 40 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of right on pace with the rest of the lessons. So brush real quick. And I'm gonna grab a real small brush. Maybe even a liner brush or something. First I'm gonna go into a little water, a little white. Now, I want some of this black to rub off on this white because, again, he is in the shadows. And this is supposed to be a silhouette. But I just want enough white, enough highlight to make his limbs noticeable. But I don't want it too bright. Some things can even be a little gray. Okay, now I'm gonna go in this black. Get his mouth and nose a little bit better. Okay, let's step back. Yeah, I'm liking the way that's looking. I think we can have a little more black right here on this hind leg. Add it a little bit darker, especially back here. And definitely in here because this is on the inside leg. Inside the leg. Let's step back again. Let's come to the front. Maybe oh yeah, I'm feeling that. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that. So I'm gonna try to clean this brush real quick. I wanna go into some more white. Just a little bit. I wanna get a little highlight. Alright. There. Maybe up there by his nose. And let me step back again so I can look at that ledge. And I think something like that. Yeah. And it should be something underneath. All right. This is what I'm looking at. Should be something right here. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's good. And remember, we don't want a lot of highlights on this because he's in the shadows. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's going to do it for this, for the underpainting. Give yourself a pat on the back if you typically do not draw with a pencil and you made it this far. That says a lot. So the next video, we breaking out the oil paints. We're going to go all in. We're going to put in all our details, all our shading and blending, and we're going to hook it up and we're going to knock it off. Till the next time, deuces.